What is the trashiest moment of your life? I was walking through Walmart with my pregnant sister and her boyfriend who wasn't the father. They were yelling quite loudly back and forth while we were shopping for cheap beer for him and pizza rolls. Email me on this webzone. My immediate and most of my extended family went out on a camping trip together. We live in NZ. I had recently had my heart broken after dating for 3 years and had been fricking just about anyone with a pulse for the last 2 months to try cope. Ever go to a low-key family gathering and end up getting inappropriately drunk? That was me. Drank virtually an entire 2L cask of red wine, we call it a goon sack in Australia and NZ, just to be extra classy, and stumbled around generally being a dong before storming off to sit beside a lake and smoke weed on my lonesome. One of my attractive female first cousins followed me, asked me for weed, drunken me though it would be a great idea to barter for a BJ, failed. Cousin told me to wait a minute and went back to our campsite, lay on my back staring at the stars thinking, man, I am such a scumbag. Cousin returns with one of my less attractive but still pretty female second cousins, tells me I can frick her in the butt if I give them both weed. We did it, behind a tree. I still think I'm scum. I helped move a 35-year-old, near dilapidated mobile home 22 miles through rural Alabama using a rusty old farm tractor. We didn't have permits, permission, or any idea how to actually do what we were doing. Our wide load lead vehicle was my truck with the hazards on. Our caution flags were orange hunter safety vests from Walmart. Once we got it on the new site, my brother and his fiancée, now ex-wife, go figure, began fixing it up. It was their first house. Others might be trashier, but this has to be the white trashiest moment. I once went dumpster diving alone at the GameStop dumpster near me. I get to it and see some cool crap inside deep, so I went in. During my dig, 2 fricking rival gangs or some crap pull up by said dumpster and started going fricking nuts. I was scared shitless and inside a fricking dumpster. I was stuck in the dumpster for like 20 fricking minutes while they fought and crap. The longer I was in there, the more of a disgusting fricking nightmare it became. I even resorted to taking a fricking pee in the dumpster. They left and I drove straight home and took a luong butt shower. Should have jumped out and said boo. Sounds like they woulda loved that knee slapper. Went into a back room at a house party, and a bunch of guys had a scale out and were weighing their testicles. There was a $45 dollar pot for the man with the heaviest balls. After a night of heavy drinking in the city for my birthday with a friend, I was pretty much nearly passed out on the train. I needed to throw up, so I held it down until the next stop, and threw up on the platform as soon as the doors opened. Then I proceeded to sit back down while a very nice lady gave me a plastic bag to throw up in some more. Good times. I like that lady. She sounds nice. Also sounds like something I could do. Took a sobriety test while 7 months pregnant in a McDonald's parking lot. Had pink furry slippers on. It would be significantly trashier if I had actually been drinking. Still pretty trashy though. Finger banged a girl and then received head at 9:30 AM waiting for a tackable to open when it was -15 outside. We weren't dating. We were barely friends. We were doing a project together all weekend and needed food. We had 20 minutes to wait. She lifted her skirt and said she had an idea of how to pass the time. We never flirted or had any prior intention of fooling around. It never happened again, and we never spoke of it. We then grazed on $30 of Taco Bell over 10 hours while farting constantly and finishing our project. $30 at Taco Bell is like infinite food. How much did you eat? Nailed a girl next to a dumpster under a bridge. Noticed a rent-a-cop watching us from a balcony when we were done. Also a homeless man in a wheelchair rolled by at one point. I read this as nailed a girl to a dumpster under a bridge and was very concerned. When I was a little kid, I went to have breakfast and there was some random dude passed out on our table. My family is a lot less trashy nowadays. Interesting. Back in my college days, I came home from work and my roommates were taking turns banging a girl on our kitchen table. When I walked in, I was offered a turn by my buddy Road. I passed. Getting blown in an Allsup's parking lot at 5 AM, then getting a deep fried burrito to help sober up. I was having sex in a bathroom at a club. The bouncer figured it out and dragged us out of the place while we were pulling up our pants. Yeah. Getting thrown out and banned from a trailer park. The story. I was 15 at the time and my buddy who could drive and I were out hanging out doing high school things. He in his infinite amount of wisdom decided it would be fun to go to this trailer park and have a firework war in the field next door. I argued and said we should do something else. My friend replied, what else is there to do? I could think of a lot, but after a few other friends decided to tag along, I accepted my fate. We met our friends in the back of the park and headed into the open field. We started going about our business, and after 15 minutes, we were out of fireworks. We started walking out of the field, and we saw police lights moving quickly into the park. A few buddies ran for the nearest wood line. I stayed with my friend because we had to go get his truck, which was now being searched by police dogs. We walked up to the truck and were immediately stopped and received shouts to put our hands up and get on the ground. We complied, got searched, and interrogated about our gang shooting that had just occurred. We were so confused. Apparently a tenant in the park, pretty close to a Jim Leahy, no crap, an ex-cop who now lived in a trailer park trying to relive the glory days, saw the cars pull up, 12 males hop out with backpacks, walk into the woods and only 2 returned. We explained the whole story and after a search of his truck finding nothing they moved us to the supervisor's office. They later released us to our parents. TLDR. Firework war led to me being banned from a trailer park because of a want-to-be Jim Leahy. Freaking way she goes, boys. Not me, but one of my good friends. Who boy, there was the time we were eating breakfast at Waffle House. She suddenly stands up and runs to the bathroom. Okay, whatever, no biggie. She comes out after a couple of minutes and says we have to leave. It seemed urgent, so I obliged. I couldn't help but notice something near the bathroom floor, as we were relatively close to them. I thought no, couldn't be, nope, this bee had crapped herself. Left a trail of poo nuggets all the way to bathroom. I don't want to think of what she did to that poor bathroom. Another time, we're at a bar about 3 in the morning. We're about to get in the car and leave when she says hold on. She squats down next to the car and takes a massive dump. As she's popping a squat, the owner of the car next to us walks up, turns around, and walks back in the bar. We left shortly after. TL. Doctor, my friend is ruled by her uncontrollable butthole. Dude needed a few shots after seeing that crap, I'm sure. I've done a little bartending in my life and as it turns out, it's illegal to deny service to a sober pregnant woman. So yeah, I served a 9 months pregnant woman shots and a Long Island iced tea. I felt like human garbage. Poor freaking kid. Trashiest day overall. Wake up, drink a few Milwaukee's best ices, have brunch and drink a few mimosas. My friend is getting married today, so his whole family along with the brides is at our house. Go to get more beers, drink up until around 3 when it's time to get ready. Get lost on the way to my friend's wedding cause I'm too drunk to tell my driver where to go. Make it there just in time to slam a shot or 2. The wedding is behind a double-wide trailer in Arkansas and the whole congregation is seated on hay bales and launchers. The groomsmen all have sleeveless shirts and trucker hats on. After the reception runs out of moonshine, my driver and I saddle up and go to the local bar cause it's on the way home and it's getting late anyway. On the way there we get into an argument and I throw his phone out the window when we get to the bar. We have a wrestling match in the parking lot and end up hugging it out over some more Budweiser and whiskey. By this point I've been drinking for about 16 hours straight and I black out at the bar. I wake up at 5 AM. Under the pool table at the bar with a bottle of Rumplemans under my arm and a cat licking my face. I just let myself out and didn't go back for a while. That's a heck of a day. I was freaking dumb as heck and going through withdrawals on minute I got my crap I spit on a spoon and boiled it up for my syringe. Not only cringeworthy, but I also could have given myself a massive infection and a plethora of other fricked up issues doing that. Clean for 2 years now, thank freaking god. I've shot up with water from a mud puddle, water from rain on the windshield, and all sorts of other crap. You use what you got. Clean for 6 years, 8 months, 13 days here. While studying abroad, my roommate and I heard that, if you aren't a citizen, you can get tax refunds on purchases at the airport. We spent a lot of time collecting random receipts off the ground, out of the trash, from people's tables at restaurants, etc. We later learned it doesn't work like that. The school I went to in grade 2 was an old hospital. The bathroom for the primaries, grade 1-3, was in the basement. I absolutely hated going down there. One day, I really had to go, so I get to the top of the stairs and decide that it's far enough. I then proceed to pee from the top of the stairs all the way down. Got kicked out of a gay bar in Savannah, GA for banging a chick in the bathroom during Pride weekend. I'm a guy for what it's worth. Doing blow off of toilet paper receptacles in nasty raves clubs surrounded by decrepit go-go girls. Was doing anal with this girl in my car. Told her I was about to finish. She said she would take care of it. Yup, butt to mouth and she swallowed my kids. Epic. Trying to push start a crappy beat up Jeep by hand at an all-night gas station at 4 AM while a cop, a clerk and a few others watched and laughed. I then asked them for help and they went inside, so I'm tired, dirty and sweaty, struggling to push a piece of crap car across the parking lot. What dongs. On our way to a music festival, my friend and I got so drunk that upon exiting the train we found out we can't really walk. So we were just lying there on the platform for at least 30 minutes. While hundreds of people were walking by laughing at us. Drinking all day on a party boat, losing a bag $250 of souvenirs, waking up on the bathroom floor to realize I also lost my purse, the passports in it, frantically find purse strewn all along sidewalk with nothing taken, next to a dead rat, but hey, still married after that debacle. Long story, I'll try to type it to conceal my identity the best that I can. I was adopted by my grandparents, basically. So, my birth mom's my sister. I'm driving my sister mom a few states away to visit my grandpa dad. She's been a freaking pain this whole trip. Where do you want to eat? Oh, I don't care. I'm just hero. We're eating at Subway? Well, okay, I guess I'll eat a sandwich. Do you need to stop soon? There's a town coming up. Number. I'm okay. We pass the town. Can you stop at the next town? I unlock the doors for her. Sits there, it's unlocked. Sits there, so I reach behind my seat, into the back and pull her door handle. How besides this she has headaches, nausea, she's sore, she wants to lay down. I hear about it the whole way. It's like I'm road tripping with a bratty child. Now, I could make the trip in one shot. I'm young. I can handle it. I figured because she's having such a hard dang time I would stop for the night. She knew this before we got started. So we pull into the hotel parking lot. I ask if she wants to save money and just sleep in the same room. She goes, oh, I'll just sleep in the van. Oh number. No number. What I should have done is say, fine, you sleep in the van. I'm gonna keep driving. But no, I proceeded to lose my crap on my sister mom. I've been holding it in the whole trip. Now you're going to just sleep in the van after I planned the whole trip around having to get a hotel for you. We are screaming at each other in the parking lot. Big time. Frick it. I walk away and go inside. Pay for 2 rooms. Go outside. Hand her the key for her room. We're getting different rooms. Well, you didn't answer me, B. So go to your dang room because you aren't allowed in my van. I walk away to go to my room. Here she comes. We're in the lobby, and she's screaming, and I'm yelling. She throws the key card at me, misses, hits the lady behind the desk with it. I thought we were gonna get thrown out. Never in my life have I been such white trash. Before that day I had questioned why I thought it was such a good idea to get her back into my life. Then this event sealed the deal. I haven't spoke to her much since then. Every time I do she gets on to me for not calling. I ask if she still has my number, so I give her my phone number again. I used to hate that I was adopted. After getting to know her I realize it's one of the best things that ever happened to me. TLDR. Had a yelling match in the lobby of a hotel with my sister mom. She hits the cashier lady with the key card. This might be the winner. Sitting hungover on a wall next to a Waffle House dumpster, rumpled shirt that I slept in open over a wife beater, squinting in the sun and trying to compose myself enough to go get hash browns. That's the same day I ended up steering while my best friend puked out the window as I frantically shouted brake. No, the other one. After a heavy night out I went into McDonald's for a wee, stood at the urinal, tried to wee, was too drunk to nominate sphincter control, Crap myself instead. John waned over to a toilet cubicle, took shoes, trousers and pants off. The pants were beyond redemption. Tried to flush them. With a blocked and rising toilet, I tried to quickly get my trousers and shoes back on before the floodwaters got them. Failed. Fell over instead. Emerged from the stall running soggy commando. Had forgotten to wipe. Trousers glued to butt. I made a shameful crappy retreat. I have no game at all, so I have no idea how this happened. Talking to girl at dorm party. Thought nothing of it. Go to take a leak in the very much public college bathroom. Someone opens the stall door, and I'm like hello, it is her. Oh, hi. She decides she's doing to blow me. Well, that is unexpected, but hey, sure. Then someone else came in, I recognized his voice, and yelled something like haha, never gonna believe this. Haha, woo woo. I must have been hammered because I woke up by myself the next morning having totally forgot about it. We are going up to the cafe for breakfast and I hear people talking about the bathroom BJ kid. I ask what that is about. They assure me it was me. Remember? Woo. It kind of came back to me after that. I have no idea though what happened directly after. I have to assume I went back to the party grinning like an idiot. No clue. I never really talked to the girl again. Shocking, I know. Talking to a girl at a dorm party. That's how it happened, man. Showing up is 90% of the battle. Pee the bed as an adult is a pretty low moment. Wake up drenched in urine with the whole room smelling like stale pee. If that's your low point, you have class compared to the rest of us degenerates. I drunkenly blew a stranger in an alleyway before getting caught by the police. I then proceeded to take different stranger back to my hotel room and bang him, while my friend was in the room, also banging a stranger. That was a wild night. Went home with a guy while I was on the rebound. He was disgusting. I started crying during the act and he asked me to keep going. I declined. We went to sleep and the next morning I woke up covered in his pee. He wouldn't wake up after several attempts, so I left. He later told our mutual friend I had stolen $5 and some cigarettes. I've never felt so disgusted with myself. Good stuff. Went out with a girl. Went back to hers and mid-coitus her ex calls her crying pleading to take him back. We didn't stop and he soon caught on to what was going on from my grunting. Become unusually loud to assert dominance. My crazy as heck ex-girlfriend was messing around with another girl when we were under the influence. I seized the moment and had a threesome for 3 to 5 minutes before she flipped out and cut herself. Terrible night. Doesn't matter, had sex. Getting horrendously stoned on pot, eating a large curry, getting a whitey and vomiting on myself and into my t-shirt. Had to do a walk of shame holding the t-shirt up to stop the vom getting everywhere. Whiteouts, frick you. When I got my girlfriend pregnant at Musfest, the only sexy times that weekend was on my four-wheeler. During the day, the cooler on the front, rebel flag flying from the back, and the only showering that weekend was filling a cooler with river water and dumping it on ourselves. Bricks trucks gone wild is where my daughter was conceived. I wasn't even drunk. That's a story you tell at a wedding. I was at a wedding that I didn't really want to be at. It was my fiance's friend that was getting married, and I didn't know anyone there. They had a rum runner machine at the reception. It was self-serve. It was hot, so I drank like a gallon of frozen rum runners. Then it was time to eat dinner. It was some fancy affair, and they had like 3 or 4 courses and with each new entree they would bring a new wine. My fiance did not drink, so I ended up drinking like 2 bottles of wine myself. After the food, they started playing music. They left the food tables set up and they were directly in front of the wedding party's table. Everyone was just kind of sitting around looking at each other. I was opening a new bottle of wine and this very attractive girl at the table next to me mentions that no one is dancing. She asks me if I want to dance. I tell her that if by the time I finish this bottle of wine and no one is dancing we will get up and dance on the table. Well, wouldn't you know, no one was dancing. So I grabbed her hand and we jumped up on the table directly in front of the bride and groom. I can't dance at all, especially since I was 3 sheets to the wind. So all we did was just grind on each other until the best man and another guy come running up yelling at us. As they get up close to us, the table collapses and we go flying. This happened in front of probably 150-200 people at a super formal wedding. We were asked to leave. My fiance had to leave because she drove. She never said a word on the drive home. I puked rum, expensive food and wine all over the living room floor. We decided it best that we see other people. TLDR. I got wasted at a formal wedding, danced on a table with a random girl, broke the table and got kicked out, puked in the living room and broke up with my fiance. Not to be Captain Obvious, but you really screwed that one. Just bought van in Australia to go travel the country in. Go out that night to celebrate buying my new house to a bar that was giving out free champagne all night. Wake up to a mild hangover, which over the course of breakfast, during which I had to take a puke break in the bathroom while waiting for food, became one of the top 3 hangovers of my life. Eat massive amount of eggs to attempt to get protein to absorb the last of the alcohol and settle my stomach. Stomach now feels worse. Drive van to a local park beside the ocean and attempt to take a nap in the back. 30 minutes later I'm puking so hard behind the van that eggs come out of my nose. The eggs are landing so hard on the ground they are bouncing back up and splashing my legs and bare feet. There is a family seated at a picnic table not 10 feet from me having lunch. Small children present. I think I'm done. Start walking back towards van. Nope. Round 2 hits over the pavement right beside the side door of the van. Spend next 5 minutes trying to cover the sight and smell of puke eggs with dirt and leaves. There was little success in this. Go back into van to nap for another hour feeling much better but much ashamed. So much shame. In conclusion, my college-educated 28-year-old self had become the barefoot, dirty van living alcoholic that ruins family picnic times and no one wants in the public park. Fun fact, I'm a girl. I was trying to convince a friend to break up with her abusive boyfriend. He used to make her give him her paycheck, and he would give her an allowance. So she finally confronts him about it, and he tells her if she wants more money she's going to need to go W herself out for it. So she comes over my place, and is telling me this, and she says to me, "You'd pay me for sex, right?" So I pull out a $50 bill as a joke, but she takes it, and we frick. We hooked up a couple more times over the next month. She moved out a week after our first encounter, and apparently threw my $50 in his face on the way out. On one hand, I'm proud of her for taking charge and getting out of a bad situation. On the other, I got wrapped up in the moment, and took advantage of someone that I just wanted to help. I still feel like crap. Yep, that's pretty trashy. Pierced my ears a number of times by myself, using safety pins. Also got tongue and belly button piercings. They all got infected sooner or later. I was 14. I put my hand over my belly button because I got scared someone was going to pierce it. I passed out in the bathroom of a club while I was drinking underage. Was woken up, stumbled onto the dance floor and vomited on a girl my buddy was talking to. Only time I have been literally thrown out of an establishment. Good times. Not me, but one of my good friend's son has a brother cousin. How this works is when you knock up a crazy trashy lady and have a kid with them, but you leave her and marry someone else and take your son with you. Then your trashy crappy brother proceeds to knowingly date and knock up, then marry said crazy trashy baby mama and she has a baby boy. That is how you make a brother cousin. Just last week I was dressed in a potato sack and a nacho hat, and graffitied big blue dongs all over an abandoned house. Then smoked on the porch, because I thought it was funny. I feel really bad now though. Getting caught by NYPD smoking weed and alcohol in a public park after hours this past Thanksgiving. Luckily they only charged us for trespassing. Volunteered to wingman for my friend. Girl of said friend he was trying to get with was as round as she was tall. My friend and this girl head into his room, so I take this girl to a spade bedroom. She was terrible at pretty much everything sex related, smelt bad and was very unattractive. After the deed, told her I snored excessively so I didn't have to sleep beside her. When I woke up in the morning, she was gone. All I could smell was her on me. I couldn't shower quick enough when I got home. Pretty disgusting if you ask me. Punkin chunkin. waiting for the liquor store to open at 0900 and being drunk by 0945/staying drunk until 0100. Waking up the next day around 7 to various people calling dinosaurs and pee next to my friend's driver's side front tire and seeing my eyes filled with blood and my left eye swollen. The one time I ever went to Dover was to find out that I had pink eye at 8 AM in an emergency room and I wasn't about to go blind. Lots of pumpkin chunkin stories. 20,000 rednecks drunk in a huge field. Shoots going to go down. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.